if Prince Harry lied on his immigration application, then he will face the full weight of American law, and he would face deportation or up to 5 years in prison or both. I think that's really out of order, and Prince Harry should not be engaging in political matters and making political statements. And especially as a member of the royal family, he should not be engaging in political matters. That's not his role. But this was yet another act of, massive narcissism by, Prince Harry.
Hi, all. Kinsey Schofield here, live from DC, and I'm with Nile Gardiner of the Heritage Foundation. We've had an incredible relationship here on Kinsey Schofield Unfiltered. You've been our number one source for Harry visa chaos. You're surprisingly my crown source, true or false. You gave me some great insight into your history with Margaret Thatcher, one of the greatest leaders in the entire world. And today, I'm so excited to connect with you regarding the state visit. You had so much great access today. You were with the king, you were with the president. Was it a joyous occasion? It's my understanding that these are two individuals that really do respect and appreciate each other.
Yeah, I think there's tremendous warmth actually between the king and the president. They got on very well, despite the political differences, of course, between President Trump and Keir Starmer. I do think the king and the president actually have struck up a very warm friendship. They've known each other, of course, for many years. And President Trump holds the royal family in tremendous high regard. In fact, he's a big admirer of the British monarchy. If you're looking at the big picture, the relationship between President Trump and the royal family, the British monarchy, is an incredibly close one. And President Trump's state visit to the United Kingdom last September was a huge success. And so this has been an opportunity, of course, for President Trump to host the King and Queen here in Washington. And I think the visit has been, a tremendous success.
I love that. So far, we are seeing a lot of smiles, a lot of laughter, and just a comforting. They're clearly very comfortable around each other. Not necessarily what we were comfortable predicting post this weekend's scare. First of all, can I have your reaction to what happened at the White House Correspondents Dinner? And can I also know, in addition to your initial response to that incident, were you ever concerned that this trip might not come to fruition based on such a frightening moment in history?
Well, firstly, of course, the attempted assassination at the White House Correspondents' Dinner in Washington over the weekend was a real shock to Washington. But at the same time, the president has faced an enormous number of threats. This was actually the third assassination attempt against the president. And so it comes as no surprise, of course, that you have deranged individuals full of hatred who are targeting the president. And the Hilton hotel where this took place is a vast hotel. And it's impossible to secure every single square foot of the Hilton Hotel as a public building, of course, with hundreds of guests staying there. But fortunately, the attempted assassination was thwarted, of course, by the bravery and courage of the Secret Service officers who were present. But certainly, of course, security for this state visit of the king has been significantly further enhanced and ramped up following the Saturday assassination attempt. And so Washington certainly has been on edge. But in many respects, this is the most secure city on earth, actually, the most heavily policed city on earth. And the Secret Service are absolutely outstanding. And I think that, without a doubt, of course, the Secret Service has been, performing a tremendous job here in Washington. But the state visit has gone ahead completely unaffected by the events over the weekend. and Donald Trump was 100% determined that the state visit would not be altered in any way. And also the king was determined to continue with the state visit, regardless of the events over the weekend. And both the president and the king, I think, are very steadfast in their determination not to be in any way intimidated, of course, by those who seek to attack the freedoms represented by our two great nations of the United States and Great Britain.
Right. That resilience is very admirable. And I also felt as soon as I heard that the king was going to continue with the trip, that's what Queen Elizabeth would have done. And I appreciated that. You mentioned Keir Starmer's government. I think that this trip is being sold in the media in two very different ways. And I'd like to know where you fall, or if perhaps it's somewhere in the middle. It's my understanding that the king is here, with a very big responsibility, almost James Bond style, where he's to work as mediator between President Trump and Prime Minister Keir Starmer, who's never made it a secret how he feels about President Trump. President Trump actually ramping up his feelings towards Keir Starmer on Truth Social in the last few weeks, specifically regarding Starmer's refusal to support and in any way really with Iran. And then there's the no, it's not political. It's just a celebration of 250 years of independence, and friendship, and the way that we've worked together over the last 250 years. I lean towards I think that King Charles has his biggest job yet as sovereign, and this is a very important mission. But I also see that it's 250 years. Do you have a preference, or what does your instinct tell you as you're watching all of this unfold, where the ultimate objective is?
Well, the king, of course, rises above party politics and also, of course, above tensions that may exist politically between London and Washington. And without a doubt, I think that the US-UK special relationship at a political level is at its lowest point since the Suez Crisis of 1956 that forced the resignation, of course, of then Prime Minister Anthony Eden. And so the stakes are extremely high. And Keir Starmer certainly is viewed very negatively here in Washington. And Starmer has been an incredibly weak-kneed prime minister, and his refusal to stand shoulder to shoulder with the United States over the war against Iran, I think has been truly disgraceful. And so the president is absolutely right to be calling out Keir Starmer. But the king, of course, rises above any kind of political dispute that may arise between the White House and Downing Street. And the king, in many respects, is the ultimate, of course, British diplomat. And he is somebody who will certainly ensure, of course, that the special relationship endures well beyond Keir Starmer. We don't know how much longer Keir Starmer actually has in office as Prime Minister, because there are growing calls in the UK for Keir Starmer's resignation over many issues, of course, including the appointment of Lord Manderson as the last British ambassador. So Keir Starmer is sort of skating on thin ice right now. He could be potentially walking the plank as prime minister within the next few weeks. But the king, of course, is not involved, of course, in day-to-day politics in Britain, and his role really as the sovereign is to represent the British people here in the United States in the state visit. And I think that he will be revitalizing, of course, a special relationship with this visit, and the king's personal friendship with the president, I think, will be extremely helpful, actually. And so, in my view, the special relationship is going to survive and it's going to thrive. The state visit will help that to be the case. But also, the special relationship is far bigger than one individual, prime minister. And I do think the special relationship will bounce back, actually, in the years to come, but probably post Starmer, but also post the Labour government that you have right now in London. And the king, I think, is somebody who plays a very important role in ensuring that the special relationship continues despite all the tensions that may be in place politically on the ground here in Washington or in London.
I love that you brought this up and thank you for bringing it up because I did some media maybe last week and I was asked the host was very frustrated and they said, why does the king not come down harder on Harry and Meghan? Why is he allowing them to, run all over Australia? And I said he's got a very specific job to do. We have to maintain this special relationship. And they said to me, no one cares. No one in America cares about the special relationship. They don't care what's happening in Iran. They care about this. But talk to me, define that special relationship and tell us why that's important. It's military, it's economic, it's political and it's cultural, is it not?
Yes, absolutely. I think you've explained it very well yourself there,
Oh.
Kinsey. And I think the special relationship really is the beating heart of the free world. It was forged in the dark days of World War II by Churchill and Roosevelt. And I think that it's the embodiment of the strength and the heart and the spirit of the American and the British people working together in the defense of the free world. And this relationship, I think, has been an incredibly powerful partnership and alliance on the world stage. And it has united the US and the UK on multiple fronts, from the military and the intelligence side to the economic and the cultural, as you have mentioned. And these ties that bind the American and the British people, I think, will never be broken, despite any political differences that may exist from time to time between presidents and prime ministers. And in my view, the special relationship will continue for hundreds of more years, actually. And I think that without the special relationship, the world is an incredibly dark and dangerous place. So long may it continue. And the king really is at the very heart of the special relationship. And my former boss, Margaret Thatcher, of course, played a key role in advancing the special relationship, together with her very dear and close friend, Ronald Reagan. And so we need to rekindle, revitalize the spirit and the heart of the Thatcher-Reagan partnership. And I think it will be revitalized actually in decades to come. And the monarchy plays such an important role, I think, in ensuring that the special relationship continues despite some major differences that we're seeing right now between the British and the American governments.
All right, last question, last but not least, certainly with my audience. The last I heard about the Heritage Foundation's pursuit to gain access to Prince Harry's visa application was that it was postponed. I mean, the headlines were after the state visit, not that we think that there was anything intentional about that. And I'm not going to ask you to reply or confirm or deny what I'm about to say, but I have heard that there is evidence to suggest Harry lied on his visa application. Recently, I've heard that there is evidence to suggest Harry lied on his visa application. What I am asking from you is what is the current status of the Heritage Foundation's pursuit of that information, and if and when it would ever be made public?
Yeah, that's a great question. So our legal case for the release of Prince Harry's immigration records continues. It's very much alive and thriving, I would say. And the State Department, in response to our requests, has promised to release potentially, you know, hundreds of documents relating to Harry's immigration case. And it's not certain at this stage whether we're going to see the release yet of Prince Harry's immigration application itself, but we are going to see the release of hundreds of documents relating to Prince Harry's application. And the State Department have a new deadline in place, June 12th, actually. So I expect that these are going to be very significant documents that are going to give us a much clearer overall picture. And I think this will be a very significant event when these documents are released post state visit. I might add, but the State Department is responding to our legal requests in a very sincere and serious manner, and they have promised to release a significant number of documents. And while we may not see yet the release of Prince Harry's immigration application. We are going to see the release of some very significant documents, and June 12th is the next deadline. And my view is that ultimately we will see the release of Prince Harry's immigration records. It's actually a matter of time. And if Prince Harry lied on his immigration application, then he will face the full weight of American law, and he would face deportation or up to 5 years in prison or both, potentially. So the stakes are very high here for Prince Harry. This is an ongoing legal campaign and legal case. The State Department has been very cooperative with our legal requests. And so the next step is the release of some documents relating to Harry's immigration application. So I think it'll be a very significant day. June 12th is the next deadline. And we're doing this really on behalf of the American people because we believe there is a clear public interest in the release of Prince Harry's immigration records. He should be held to account. No one is above the law. And if indeed Harry lied, if he lied on his application, then he will face legal consequences, including potentially deportation from the United States. And so lying on a federal application is a very serious offense. And Prince Harry will face very serious consequences if he lied on his application. So if Harry has nothing to hide, he should support the full release of his immigration records here. But ultimately, Kinsey, I believe we are going to win this. And we do have a US administration in place that we believe really does act in the interest of the American people, and they have been very cooperative with regard to our legal requests. And so June 12th is simply the next stage here. And I do believe that some of the documents released will be significant and consequential. So we shall have to see what is exactly contained in these documents. But our campaign and our legal case continues, and we're fighting to win this, Kinsey. And I do believe ultimately we are going to prevail in seeing the release of Prince Harry's immigration records. It's just a matter of time, really.
I mean, I completely agree with you. And what does it do to support your case when Harry goes to the Ukraine and he stands on a stage representing we don't know who or what, but challenges President Trump and challenges Putin and potentially disrupts a state visit that's days away where we're, trying to renegotiate the special relationship. Does that prove your point that it is in the public interest to know how he's in the United States, who he's representing?
Yeah, I think that Prince Harry really cares only about himself, and also, of course, Meghan Markle is absolutely the same, and they are incredibly narcissistic individuals. And this is why, Prince Harry made these statements in Ukraine, attention-grabbing statements, just before his father is visiting the United States. And also for Prince Harry, who remains a member of the royal family, to basically make an attack on the US president. I think that's really out of order. And Prince Harry should not be engaging in political matters and making political statements. And especially as a member of the royal family, he should not be engaging in political matters. That's not his role. But this was yet another act of massive narcissism by Prince Harry here, especially just ahead of the state visit. Deeply unhelpful, and of course a political attack on President Trump, who I might add actually. In the past has done, a huge amount actually in support of the people of Ukraine. And the United States has done a huge amount to support the defense of the Ukrainian people. And so for Prince Harry to be, making these, these barbed remarks, against the U.S. president, I mean, I think it's an absolute disgrace. And I do think he is actively undermining the royal family by engaging in political matters. The same applies, of course, to Meghan Markle. Both of them should be stripped of their royal titles. They should not be carrying royal titles and engaging in any kind of political activity. They undermine the royal family. They don't care about the royal family. They're in it for themselves, Kinsey. That's the reality, and I think that they really, frankly, are an embarrassment to the royal family.
I could not agree with you more. It's actually sad to see when the king is over here doing such important work. Now, will you come talk to me again when we have an update on Prince Harry's visa status? And you and I have a date later this week. I get to see you in real life too. I can't wait.
I'm looking forward to that, Kinsey, and absolutely, and I will be delighted to give you an update with regard to Prince Harry's visa records case, because I think this is such an important case for the American people. In fact, it's the most high profile, I think, immigration related case in the United States in many decades.
Right.
And there's a clear public interest actually in ensuring that Prince Harry's records are released. And also thank you for your wonderful show, for having me on the show. And you have absolutely fantastic viewers and followers, really. A great audience, and it's a real honor and privilege to appear on your show. Thank you very much.
Well, they love you too. The feeling is mutual. They love you. The
It's very
comment
kind.
section always lights up when we have you on. So I look forward to having you back again very soon. Now, Gardner, the Heritage Foundation, thank you for all the good work you do.
My
And
pleasure.
if you're watching, we want you to we want to know, agree with us, disagree with us, let us know in the comments below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend. And we're just at the beginning of this beautiful trip in DC. We have a lot more to see. Nile and I'll be covering it for you all over the place. So make sure you follow him on social media, and we'll see you again very soon.